this. So, okay. Greetings, all Shardvixen here. Alright, so here's the deal today. We're gonna do, since I'm reviewing comic books, I'm gonna probably try to bounce through them a little faster. I'm also gonna show you where my comic books for Classic X-Men, they don't end there, I have more, but this is where the overlap comes from my Classic X-Men to the Uncanny X-Men. And then, I'm gonna show you some art stuff just to get started before. So, I have a new challenge that I'm doing, a new contest, and I can't show you all of them because they're not in here. I don't think they are. But I'm drawing up flowers and plants in a witchy format. So like this one is called Windflower. It does healing, love, protection. And then this one down here that you can't see as well, that's Bluebell. And that has luck and truth. And then this one is flowering quince. It has happiness, love, luck, protection. So the idea is to make a wallpaper. So I'm in the process of making a wallpaper. I'll put the pattern. Me and my daughter did these events together. I don't think I have the other ones, but I have quite a few of them already. And the design that you do, I'm going to show you just a minute. So the design that you do is kind of like this. So for example, this one. This one, and then this, put stuff away so I can get to it. That one. This style here. And then this style. So this is called a Totally because it's done in a blue style with a solid background. This one could be considered Totally, but it won't. That sound you hear in the background is Roger mixing this one. Okay, so that's what I've been doing next Tuesday. So I've been done before next Tuesday. And then remember I was doing the fabric painting. I'm going to show you that. What I've done some more of. I finished the pocket I was working on. So, here's the pocket. And then I started on the other side over here. This right here. And I've got some other things going on right here. I think I'm going to put little sayings up here. Kind of how I'm thinking about doing it. But I'm going to work on, not tonight, but the next one I'll start working on is my other back pocket. I'm not sure what we're going to do. Oh, we're going to do in the journal. And then I got another little Lego set to put together. So this one here, which is it's part of a set that came as a freebie. I think, or actually looking at it, my mother probably bought it for boys. So I thought I'd just put it together. I'm not sure what's in it, but it looks like maybe the rhinoceros is what's in it. So not interested myself. But we're gonna finish the axolotl. But what we're gonna work on today are some little journal things that I can put in my journal, and paper for that. And these are like little pockets, so I was going to explore those with you guys. Like again, envelopes is the best one. So, let's get started with our, and I got some pockets too, some really cool looking little picture things that I'm probably going to put, this came out of books, and I'm probably going to, thinking they were made of watercolor, but maybe not. They've got a texture like I painted them with that, and then with a watercolor, and then it's got a chalkiness to it. But it might not be. Yeah. Okay. Alright, so let's start with pumpkins. Alright, so in the Classic X-Men, Classic X-Men number 50. Well, I want to talk about something else first. So, 50 is where my overlap is. But I wanted to talk about one of the most prominent, we have talked about this before, one of the most prominent storylines in Marvel comic books is the Dark Phoenix saga. Okay? So I read in Classic X-Men where Jean Grey becomes the Phoenix. And then the Hellfire Club proceeds using illusion, but you don't learn that till later. Using illusion, proceeds to corrupt the Phoenix so that she becomes the Dark Phoenix. And she becomes the Black Queen for a little while, I think, if I remember right. So, in this episode, we meet Dazzler. Now, Dazzler is an interesting Marvel character because they bring her back and forth. We also meet, we just met Kitty Pryde in this, right before this. And Kitty Pryde has a special talent. She is prominent in the X-Men universe, which is always so interesting because you don't see her a lot in a lot of things. But in the stories of the comic books, she is very, very prominent because she can slip through solid objects. Not teleport. She just makes herself like intangible and then moves back and forth through them. She rescues the X-Men with the special talent, and then she becomes an X-Men. But yeah, so right here is where we meet, where the Dark Phoenix saga begins, and Jason Weigard is the person who starts to create the persona. So I can't read it really, but so what it is he taps her, and upon tapping her, reality changes around Jean, and the 27th century gives way to the 18th century, so to a burned out church in the Woodland Glade, and in that church, her and Jason are getting married. Now, he has the power to create illusions, so that's how this is working. And then, in the process, he creates the Black Queen. But he had been setting up this whole thing slowly and surely, so that when she gets to this part right here, where he's kissing her in the thing, so they're getting married, and that's shot right there. But then when they bounce back to reality, they're in the disco looking for Dazzler, and Scott's like, what's going on here? And then Scott's like Jean's like really, really confused, because she's like, how do I explain what happened to me? And Scott's like, I've never seen her act like that. It was as if she wasn't Jean. And then they get introduced to Dazzler. Now, I like Dazzler's character. I have always liked it. She takes sound and can turn it into light. And I just think that was an awesome power to talk about. But anyway, so here's her as the Black Queen. But yeah, so then they're trying to save Dazzler from this event that is occurring. And I don't think it's the Sentinels, but they're trying to capture her because she's a mutant. And then in the process, they protect her. They use her Phoenix powers here. And then you go back with this shot of Jason right here, but you see a different silhouette than the person here. And that's because he's not as he seems, And then, remember how I told you that Classic X-Men, up to a period of time, talks a lot about other stories, and this one is about Moria McTaggart and her life before she meets Sean. and things that she's trying to deal with, and he's trying to deal with, and they're trying to connect together. She's trying to fix his, he has a mutant, his mutant abilities declining, and she's trying to help him past that. And then they just talk about, he sits down and looks at a photo album, and learns about the wedding to Joe. There's the picture, and he was an angel in disguise, and then how he's hanging out with Professor Xavier, and then just how they get along. It's an interesting story, but he tries to learn more about her, and then in the process, what has gone on in her life, and how troublesome it is for her trying to solve this puzzle here. And it's about her son. It wasn't about Sean, it's about her son, and how she wanted to try to save him. Her son had a very powerful talent, very powerful talent, to the point of being like an malignant mutant, which is something I really talk about. So the Dark Phoenix saga carries over to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 comic books, of which I do not own the original copies of. I only own it in the classic X-Men style. But some of the pictures are really fabulous in it. This is where you start seeing the iconic Phoenix picture that they make right here, where this wave of flame comes up. So this is Kitty Pryde is told that she can't really be part of the X-Men anymore, and I think this is before. I think it's not Kitty Pryde. I can't read it, and I have to try to jiggle my brain with it to figure out what's going. So it's this is where Kitty Pryde meets the X-Men. And that they take her home and find out that they know that she's a mutant. And then Jean is still having problems with Jason in her head, right? And then we meet the White Queen, which is, I can't think of her name at the moment, give me a moment. Emma Frost. So Emma Frost is the White Queen. Emma Frost is also a telepath. And I really like Emma Frost. I like what they do with her later down the road. I like how they connect her to the X-Men. So that's kind of cool. And then we see how Kitty Pryde. So we had this time frame jump. That's what it was. How they met Kitty Pryde and then how they help her so that she's able to escape. And she is able to rescue Wolverine. Now the important thing about Wolverine and Kitty Pryde is they become super close friends. As well as him and later on Jubilee. But they become like surrogate family to each other. And then there is a mini story of Wolverine and Kitty Pryde, which is a really fabulous story. And again, I'm sad that I can't read these to you. And this is where Jean Grey where Phoenix and Emma meet each other, and it doesn't really go well for Emma Frost. But on the same token, you have to remember that Phoenix has been being slowly kind of like mind hypnotized to support the Hellfire Club. This picture right here, which I don't know if you guys can see it very well, is just a fabulous picture with the Phoenix and Emma Frost. It's just beautiful picture. It becomes a very iconic look of when you see the Phoenix explode with its power like right here, and then right here. And everybody's very shocked by how powerful Jean Grey is. Like, it just overwhelms her. And then they ask Dazzler if she wants to join the X-Men, and she's like, no, I want to be a singer. And you catch her off and on through the future off and on through the stories. And then they return Kitty Pryde, and Xavier has to it's not Xavier, it's actually Jean Grey who kind of tricks Kitty Pryde's father's head so that they're not as worried and they're willing to let her come back and be part of the X-Men. Okay, and then they do a story about Dazzler. And I have a mini-series where Dazzler and Beast get connected together for a little bit. And it's a cute little story. But I like Dazzler. Dazzler is a character I wish they had done more with, but they didn't. But it would have been. What they did do with her is they sent her to space. Hey, Feely. I can't read the books, Feely boy. I can show you pictures of them, and I can talk about them. So that's what we're doing, is talking about. I was talking about the Dark Phoenix Saga, and this is what these books are. And then we're building up to this one over here, which is my overlap to Uncanny, because we're going to start talking about Uncanny. And I just thought we'd do more of them like that. So this is again where we see the X-Men have been captured. We've got Jean Grey as the Dark Queen. We have Jason Weigard, who is pretending to be her husband. She makes her think that he's her husband, that they were together. So that's what he looks like, really. And then that's how he makes everyone perceive him. And then this is Jean Grey, and this is how he makes Jean Grey perceive herself from the past as the Black Queen. And, you know, the whole thing is that they're trying to trick the Phoenix into believing that the X-Men are after her and want to destroy her, and that he is her own savior. So as an example is up here. He's all like, Black Queen, stop Wolverine. And she's like, yeah, no problem. And then they're all like really confused. Why are you doing this? You know? And they have Cyclops in this special thing here. I just have to be careful that there isn't a weird copyright thing. So I'm just like, we'll just bounce through it. I can review it. That's what I'm doing. I'm not reading it to you. I'm showing you panels. We're reviewing it. We're talking about it. And then we're moving on. So I wish I could read them to you, because these stories are very spectacular. They're iconic in the X-Men universe. The books themselves are iconic. You know, it's just one of those things that as the future goes through comic books, 20 years of comic book history, and the one prominent story that everyone remembers is the Dark Phoenix Saga. And it's been rewritten quite a few times. I think I have like 3 or 4 of them. And then here it is where Jean Grey is the Black Queen and is realizing now that there's something going on. Instead of enslaving me forever, you shocked me awake, you set me free. And he's like, wait, no. I was absolutely sure I got this in control with my power. And she says, your power is nothing compared to hers. Says you do not have any idea what you've done, the forces that you set in motion. And then as the Phoenix takes him and then destroys his little device that helps him change who she is, and then it says, use a telepath to share a telepath. Ingenious. This device enables you to tailor your illusions to fit my private fantasies. The repressed dark side of my soul. You gave me what I secretly wanted, and then used that to destroy me. It's only fair I return the compliment. And so she enters into his brain and gives him power as no other living person has. And then he witnesses the world in this from a different angle and goes into this mind-bending kind of like, I would assume, like intense experience. And they say some people can handle it, some people can't. And in the case of him, he's unable to handle it. So he's stuck in this like ever expanding kind of thing in his eyes. So but then she's kind of not feeling well because she's done this, you know, she's been cruel to this person, and that's not who she really is. And so they think everything's over, they rescue her, and then that's the end of it. And she's still not feeling well. You know, and she's as far as she's considered, it's too late because the dark side of her has been unleashed. And then here's another little short story about the Dark Phoenix, right? Well, actually no, this is the end. Because here's where she gets triggered, and they're all like, "What's going on?" And she's like, "I am Phoenix. I am no longer the woman you knew. I am fire and life incarnated, now and forever." Boom, and she explodes the flame. And then the short story here is about Nightcrawler again. And he meets this person who has lost a leg, and he helps her, and they talk. He learns more about her and stuff, and tries to help her again because she had ran away, and said, you know, maybe you should talk to your family. Marvel comic books did that a lot. I don't know about DC, but Marvel comic books was very into doing social kind of stuff. I know there's a lot of echo on my mic. I am sorry. There isn't two. It says there's only one. You know, I don't okay, let's turn this one down. Well, no, I can't turn that one down. Okay, I'll turn it down a little bit. It's supposed to play the music. How's that sound now? Hey, Caswell. How's that sound, Feely? Does that sound better? So I don't have an echo in my headset. So, does it sound better? Can you still hear the music? Because I hear is music in my voice. I mean, I have an echo in my head because I hear my voice in my headset and when I'm talking, but I don't hear like an echo. All right, so then the next episode of the Dark Phoenix, of course, is going to have the Dark Phoenix fighting the X-Men. How you doing, Caswell? Better on the echo, low volume. I turned the volume down for the music. The problem is it's set up as my desktop audio so that you guys can hear the music in the background, but it will also pick up as it filters through my voice. And I'm telling you, every time we do this, every day, there's something wrong with it, so I have to refix it. And I had problems with my keyboard today, so. But thanks for joining me, guys. I'm sorry that I don't have this spectacular understanding of how to do my music, how to do my sound, because I've worked on it quite a few times. And I'm watching it right now, and it says it's way lower than the snowball is, and the snowball is my talking part. And there's no way to turn that off. I don't know if I was to mute this. Okay, let's try something. I turn the music off. So, do you hear music now? Can you guys just, now you can hear me, right? The X-Men are great, yeah. Can you hear me and the music, or just me? I don't have any way to check it, because if I was to play my Twitch, I would hear it twice in my head. You can hear me and the music? Okay, well, we'll try it that way. I muted the desktop audio, so hopefully that'll work for you. I still hear it in my head, so it must be working, but, you know, I don't know. Alright, so, and this is the, because Coach Walt just joined us, this is the 4th issue of the Dark Phoenix saga in the classic X-Men. Okay, and in this one, she becomes the goddess that she supposedly is, and she decides that she's gonna kill all the X-Men. She just wants to get them. And I love this picture right here. It's one of my favorite X-Men. I love how they show the Phoenix. Okay, because I turned off the music off the desktop. So I don't know, which one do you guys prefer? Do you prefer a slight echo in the music, or no echo in the music? No music. Because that's about the only way I'm going to be able to do it. There's no way for me to set it up any other way. Because I had it set up that way and it wasn't a problem. And now it's a problem. I don't know why. So, and then you have Sebastian, who's like, if only we could have kept that power within us. And that she's coming back with a vengeance against them, so you don't understand well with that echo. Troublemaker. I am a troublemaker. You don't understand well with that echo. Okay. Well, let's leave it off for a little bit then. We'll leave the music off for a little while, and I don't know why it's causing a problem now. I'm gonna try turning it down a little more, and then you guys can tell me. How about that? Do you hear the music? And still an echo? Echo can be odd. I don't know why there's an echo though. There hasn't, like, it'd be one thing if every time you guys came in to listen to me chat, that you told me I had an echo, then that would make sense. But it doesn't make sense when you come in and there's no echo. There's no music. No music at all. That's weird. I have it in my headset. Yeah, there is no music. Okay, well, I'm going to figure that one out. I don't know why we don't have music. We've had it in the past. Alright, well, I'm not going to worry about it right now. As long as you guys don't have an echo, I'll figure out what's going on with it another time. It's not today. You can hear the fan and Roger's cleaning his paintbrush. Yeah, he's also, not only with the fan, I can't not have the fan, it's too hot in here. He also has, every once in a while, his paint shaker. So, alright, well, we'll just keep going. It's fine. That's how it is. So then she goes to space, because now she's a super being, right? You meet Silver Surfers comes by, you know, and they got tromped. The X-Men got tromped, and they're like, And the thing is that the art in this is spectacular. The story is fabulous. You have this side of the Phoenix where she devours the sun of the system, and then just destroys the planet in the process. And then you see the Shi'ar get upset because she's back, and they have history of the Phoenix in the past, and she just rips through their ship like it's nothing. And this is where we meet a more connected life we meet her, because she and Xavier become lovers, like it's prophesized, and she's been talking to him through his consciousness forever, and so now the X-Men are like really worried about what they're gonna do about Phoenix. And here we meet, so here's a very fabulous character, Dr. Sinister, and he, Mr. Sinister, and he's an interesting little character because there's a whole storyline with him in the future. And then later on down the road, they make a reference in the one main storyline of Marvel that he's related to Gambit. So you have to remember how comic books go. They have all these different realities that come in, and then you have one main story, one main timeline. So we're diffusing also the new music. Movies, they were using the same server, but the name had changed. Yeah, that happens sometimes. So, and Sinister has this huge interest in Jean Grey and Scott Summers, and that becomes kind of prominent in all these different storylines. Now, this book kind of does this thing where you've got all these different stories going on at the same time, and sometimes I like that, but sometimes you can get really lost trying to figure out the connections to these stories, because they'll just leave some of them like empty strings floating in the wind, and you're like, what? I don't know what that has to do with anything. So and I'm not really sure what this story has to do with, besides the fact that it has this young man in it. So let me see. Little boy lost. That's Scott Summers. So it has to do with, it's a story about Scott Summers and I think Alex. And Dr. Sinister, like I said, has been totally interested in Scott and Alex. But especially Scott, because he wants the connection between Scott and Jean Grey. He wants to make his own Phoenix. Because Mr. Sinister is very into the idea of owning his own Phoenix. That's why you hadn't to find another name that was already in the systems. Oh, interesting. So, in the next Dark Phoenix part of the saga, you still have the Phoenix out in the middle of the thing. Again, this is a beautiful. I like this look right there. And this is where they're setting up for taking the X-Men into space. They'd been there once before, but they hadn't been there in the idea of them going to space and fighting in space. And then they bring Jean Grey's parents to come and talk to her, and she doesn't really want to connect with them because she's still having problems with the whole telepathic thing, because Phoenix opened up her telepathic ability. And she doesn't have the long lifeline experience like Xavier does in being able to keep her thoughts separated from the other people's thoughts. So at some point in time, she becomes very overwhelmed with the power that she has. And then she still is having a hard time gripping with the idea of being the Phoenix, and then the things that she's done in the process. And the X-Men want to capture her so they can help her, and they try to put this thing on her head, which is going to keep her powers so she can't use them. And then this is where Storm and her get into a fight, and Wolverine and her get into a fight, and Wolverine's says, forgive me, darling, and she says, do it, Wolverine. Strike. While the human part of me is still in control. Otherwise, I'm going to hurt you. And then he stops because he sees that it's Jean Grey, not the Phoenix, and then she does hurt him and knocks him out, and then pulls the scrambler off her head. And then she captures the X-Men and says, now I have you, and I can do whatever I want to you. And so she says she's going to kill them, and there's this huge conversations that they have, and Cyclops pleads with her and says, I've come to talk, and she says, I won't listen. And you get into this whole thing where he talks about who she is as a person, and she keeps commenting, the Dark Phoenix knows nothing of love, and says, but you have love for us because you became this thing to protect us in the space fight, and it almost works, but the Phoenix and Jean Grey's psychic of who Jean Grey is can't do it, and then in the process Xavier knocks her out, which totally ruins whatever Scott Summers was trying to convince her of. And then she retaliates on Xavier, and it says, you have just signed your death warrant, right? And he's like, I'm the one, I am part responsible for what has happened to you, and so I'm going to take that responsibility. And it says, why, Professor, you almost sound guilty, as well as you should. And then it talks about how you unleashed my latent telepathic ability. So it was his fault. She sees it as his fault for what has happened to her. And then she said she becomes very powerful. It's like, watch this bloom right here, where the Phoenix is starting to emerge from her. And it says the Phoenix rises, the Psi War begins. So it's between her and him. And then he entraps the part of her that is the Dark Phoenix, and then there's just Jean Grey there, and she's still alive, and he makes a proposal. He's thinking about getting married to her, and she says, if I didn't know better, I'd say the thoughts I just picked up sounded a lot like a proposal. And then everybody's like, just supposed to forgive her, right? And then they all disappeared. The X-Men and everybody disappeared. And Jean Grey's parents are like, well, where'd they go? Right? And then we have the little short story here again, and I'm pretty sure this is about Scott Summers' father, but I'm not positive. But I may be wrong. I don't know. I don't remember this one, so I can't tell you. But again, it's a nice little short story. They're always fun short stories. A lot of the stories don't talk about their powers as much as people, just flying. Oh, it's Mr. Sinister again. Yeah, so would have to be something about Scott Summers again. And then some more about Jean Grey. And then we have the last of the Dark Phoenix saga. Because now they're remember they got zipped away into the outer space there. And there they are standing. And they meet Loranda. And he has already met her, but now he's all like, because there was a part where he was having nightmares. Remember they talked about it, and then he ends up going to space and meeting her and the Space Jammers. But in this case, has to be against him because the Dark Phoenix, is considered a bane on the universe. So I like this one. We see a lot of retrospect in the comic books of the characters. There's a lot of thought things going on about the characters and how they are seeing the world that they are in at the moment. Like in the fact that Wolverine, he's talking about, I ain't scared of dying, never have been. It'll happen to me one day whether I want it to or not, so why waste time worrying about it? And then he talks about, about how says Jean ain't a killer. She can't be held responsible for Phoenix's actions. So to them, Phoenix and Jean Grey are two separate entities, and that Phoenix overwhelmed Jean. And so each of you, in this comic book, you have each of them thinking about how they feel about that. And then he's talking about how he feels about it. And how he wants to marry her and they want to stay close to her. And then they're in outer space and they're just totally blown away by all the technology and everything. And they have to fight the galactic guardians, not the Guardians of the Galaxy, but the galactic guardians who protect the Shi'ar Empire. And they have to fight them to prove it's that old thing that like a duel, if I beat you, then her honor has been reinstated. And there's a lot of fighting and combat in this, and it's a really long story. But it has a lot of build up to it. It's really, really great. And we see how Jean Grey is not separated from the Phoenix. And it says they've talked about how this has gone too far because it says it happened so fast. No time to stop herself, no time even for thought. She saw Cyclops cut down, and the cry of shock and grief and terror that welled within her shattered psychic restraints busted right through. And now she's the Phoenix again. And she did it because she was so in love with Scott Summers. And she keeps pleading for everyone to kill her, because if they don't kill her, she's not going to be able to keep control of herself. And then the last part here is where she is running away, and she asks him again. She tells him that she's going to destroy herself. And it says, if even one more person died at my hands, it's better this way, clean and final. I love you, Scott. And then a part of me will always be with you. And then she does away with herself, and he just can't. He falls apart. Which, I mean, it makes sense, because they were in love, and he did everything they possibly could do, and they tried to save her, and they couldn't save her, but in the end, she saved herself. And then that's what the plus of it is. And then the short story that comes from that is we see her in a different plane. Like, the X-Men have gone. She has all these memories going on. And then she comes back because Phoenix can't die. And it says alive, but how? It isn't fair, I've tried so hard to die. And then she's here, and this person takes her through this kind of, not really a heaven, I don't think, but more like a purgatory, like an in-between of it, where she has to learn more about herself and who she is and the things that have occurred in her life and how she feels about them. And I like this part of the story. I thought this part of the story was fabulous, because it gave you, again, this introspective look at the Phoenix. Not necessarily Jean Grey, but at the Phoenix. and how it goes through her life here. And this person talks about how sometimes, every creature born, even a baby phoenix, reaches a moment where it has to strike out on its own. The sadness behind that, the mosaic of life, contains more pieces than you know, and it shows all these. And then this is the story here of what they used in the movies, that the phoenix was always in there since she was born, because of Dr. Sinister, Mr. Sinister, I'm sorry. Things you can't be told, but have to discover for yourself, no matter cost. I'm truly sorry, child. You'll remember neither words nor me, but you will learn the hard way. And so that's the Dark Phoenix saga. Now, that's in the 40s of the classic X-Men, and the 112s or 111s of the Uncanny X-Men. But I talked about last time, how I got the classic X-Men, so I would have the story of the new X-Men up to where my comic book starts. So this is my oldest X-Men comic book. And this is the remake of that one. This one here is this one here. See, and you can see because somewhere there's a cover for this. Don't know if it's in Murder. It's right there. So there's the cover. There are the two covers. 146 is the earliest one I bought. I got this at I used to go to an auction house. Not an auction house, but a big giant auction area. And the auction area would have people selling, thrift store like style, garage sale style stuff. And there was this one guy who had comic books, and people would come in and trade with him and stuff. I think he eventually started his own comic book store for a while, but I'm not sure how well that went over. But so So Murder World is an interesting thing. So this guy here is Arcade. And Arcade is a bad guy who likes to use tech stuff. Like he'd be kind of like a Batman, except he's just kind of goofy. And he creates these carnival-like style places that people have to get through. And so he hooked up with Dr. Doom in this story. And this is mine. This is the original. And because there's a 10 years difference, you can see the difference in the color and also the paper that they used. Over a period of time, comic books papers have changed. Some hold up better to time than others do. I'm trying to find this one. It's in the this is the first page, turn it. There it is. Okay, so there are the two comic books side by side, picture-wise, and you can see how fuzzy this one is in comparison to that one. This one was published in 1981. June of 1981 is when this is. So this book here is the same age as Roger. And this book here was published in 1990. So about 10 years later, 9 years later, they produced them. Okay, so like I said, this story is about the arcade world, and the X-Men are being plopped in here so that Doom Arcade can figure out what their powers are. And also because he's just a dickwad that likes to have people fight through his system. And in this case, he doesn't have the regular X-Men. He has the backup X-Men, which is Banshee, Banshees. They're either robots and the X-Men are really there, or the X-Men are robots. No, the X-Men are really there. Because this is where Storm gets really claustrophobic and she breaks her way out. So, next Thursday, when I look at comic books again, we'll be more in depth. I got some more here and I'm going to show you, but we're going to be more in depth in the Uncanny X-Men. So, I have more of the classic X-Men. I continue to get them as long as they were making them, I think. There might be a point in which I just said, no, now I have copies of the same story. And I decided I didn't want to do that. But, so, you remember, this is always intrigued me in comic books. So, you had this back page here, these 2 pages here, and you could send away for these stuff. Like, well, this one you could sell, like, magazines, and it was, earn $1 a box. So it said earn famous name prizes or cash. And then what you would do is you would send away, and they would send to you what you had to sell. And then after you sold it, you would be able to collect on these cool things. Never really ever did it because I was like pretty sure it was a scam. But what it was you would sell all occasion cards, notes, personalized stationery, and exciting gift items for our free, colorfully illustrated 1981 sales folder. I really think that these guys then became fundraisers. Like, I think they took this idea and turned them into school fundraisers. And then on this side, you had the ever-famous gag special kid stuff you could do. And you would pick what you wanted and send away for it. And it would come back to you. Again, never did it. Because the only thing I think I sent away was once I sent away something for a poster. I don't remember if I ever got it or not. So, when I bought this comic book, I bought it for 25 cents. On the news rack, it was only 50 cents anyway. Like I said, that guy would have where you could buy him $1 for $1. So then the next comic book after this one's one of my favorites again, because here's where you see now, we've seen what Jean Grey was like when she got vicious, but here we're going to see what Storm is like when Storm gets mad. And so because they put Storm in this little, he froze her in this casket like thing, and she's trapped in there, but she can't get out. And the rest of the X-Men are trying to figure their way through their little murder world things, like solve the problem of how to get out of murder world. So, like, in the case of Wolverine, he has to figure out how to get out not using his senses, because the senses are all mixed up. And back here, Colossus had to figure out how to get out of his area, because he found out if he just didn't use his metal, which made him invulnerable, but if it also kept him from escaping. So they each had to come through their different little format rooms. And Storm just like busts her way out, and she is furious. This is where they see why she was called a goddess, and she is just going to destroy everything in her path for keeping her trapped. She says, "Am I not beautiful, Lord Doom, and terrible? Do you not fear me? You should, and you shall." And so she just starts destroying everything, and they're all like, she's like, "I am a goddess," and they're all trying to tell her, no, you're not, you're our friend, you're this, you're that, you know. It's on another whole, it is a lot like, see, you see it right here. It's a lot like Phoenix, the Dark Phoenix story. and trying to get her to realize that she is a person and they love her and she has compassion. And then she does. She releases her inner fury. But I liked it because it gave us another side. Again, making people seem more connected. And then we also meet where Scott Summers is trying to get on in his life. He quit the X-Men and he moved on. And right now he's out dating this person called Alita Forrester, the captain and owner of the trawler Arcadia, washed overboard days ago in a freak squall. Her companion is Scott Summers, but he has left after the death of his beloved Jean Grey Phoenix. Scott took the leave of absence last Christmas, following weeks on the road, and he signed aboard with this. And so he calls her Jean, and he's like, "I'm sorry, I thought you were somebody else." And then they're at this weird little place here. But the story is nice for the fact about Storm. I liked where comic books started to get more in depth with the idea of the stories. And here we're gonna meet Dazzler and Spider-Woman. Ha! Bet you didn't know there was a Spider-Woman. It's Dr. X who makes these helmets as prescriptions, or what? What are you talking about? Third Eye, the guardian of the third eye. I'm not sure if what you're talking about. Which helmets? So, again, because I like Dazzler, but I enjoyed Spider-Woman. I have a few of her comics, not a whole lot. They were hard to come by. But we learn about where these guys are at. Where Scott Summers is with his now girlfriend kind of person. And the fact that he has not told her that he is a mutant with eye beams. But so the X-Men are all just, they don't know Scott Summers is in any trouble. And then Banshee is introduced to introduced to his daughter, and we meet who becomes Siren. We meet her quite a bit in the future. She has the same power as he does, and then you find out a little bit about her story, being, why she wasn't connected with him and everything. And then they're at the carnival. It's Kitty Pryde and Jessica Knight and Misty. And remember, in the classic X-Men I read, I told you that Misty Knight, Jessica, I think it's Jessica Drew, but Misty Knight was a detective that Jean Grey was living with for a while. And so they brought Kitty Pryde to the fair to see Dazzler. And in the process, they get swooped up again. And now they all have to figure out what's going on. So and Aura's there. I think it's Aura, not Misty Knight. I think Jessica Drew. And they turn into the three women. And then the story is about Dazzler, Spider-Woman. Oh, I love Spider-Man. And then we also meet Caliban. So Caliban's another favorite character of mine. Caliban is part of the Marauders who live underground. And he decides that Kitty Pryde is like his girlfriend and he wants to marry her. So he steals her. But he was such a friendly little soul that I thought that it was kind of a cool story. And then in the next one, you have I Am Magneto. I bid you welcome to my new home. So that's where Scott Summers and his friend end up. They end up on Magneto's secret island. his secret island. And I got one more. So, these are the early Uncanny X-Men. So now we have, and the dead shall bury the living. And we have, I can't remember this one. Some of them I'm not really familiar with. But, this is where, Kitty Pryde, you see more of a teenager-y style character from her. And she dresses up, keeps coming up, trying to come up with a really cool outfit for herself, and so then she ends up in the danger room, and they all play around with her and stuff. But there's a series, and I think it's in the next couple episodes, in which Kitty Pryde gets sent home because they tell her that she can't be an X-Men, she's too young, and then she has to prove herself. Which I like Kitty Pryde. She's not my favorite character, but she has always had potential to become an interesting character. And in some of the little offshoots, the comic book stuff that, like, trying to think of one. Well, like her and Wolverine, you see a different kind of person, even though she's still a teenager. You see her kind of grow up in a different way. And then in the apocalyptic world that they did, she is just vicious. She's a vicious, and it makes sense because she grew up in this horrific world. But yeah, so this one's mostly about Kitty Pryde and trying to become an X-Men, like trying to have a connection with the X-Men. And then Xavier kind of makes it that that's not a thing, and that she has to be more of a mutant, like a high schooler. They send her some other places, and she gets mixed up with the Hellfire Club for a little while because they have the Hellions, and the Hellions are another brand like the New Mutants. I'm not sure why. I don't know why Marvel decided that the New Mutants was a thing. Maybe because Kitty Pryde and the idea that the world was changing, and the idea that teenagers running amok, even though they originally in the 1950s story, the 1960s stories, it was all teenagers running amok. So maybe it was just that in the 80s that wasn't a thing. That wasn't a thing. Alright, let's get on to our Lego kits. Oh my gosh, I'm sorry, I've got things floating around here. So I hope you guys like those comics, and maybe we'll read some. I'll talk about some more of them. I would advise you, if you get a chance, if you get to go someplace and can get a chance to buy some of them, you should buy them. You can buy most of the stories nowadays in graphic novels, like sets of them. I have some like that for Ultimate, because I didn't want to buy the Ultimate X-Men. So Marvel came out with a series, I want to say 2000, but I'm not positive about that. Let me see. Let's see. Ultimate. So, Ultimate Marvel came out. So, let's see what they say. Ultimate Marvel, later known as Ultimate Comics, was an imprint of comic books published by Marvel Comic Books, featuring reimagined and modernized versions of the company's superhero characters from the Ultimate Marvel Universe, later known as the Ultimate Universe. These characters include Spider-Man, the X-Men, the Ultimates, the Ultimate Marvel Universe counterpart to the Avengers, and the Fantastic Four and others. The imprint was launched in 2000 with the publication, I was right, of the series Ultimate Spider-Man and Ultimate X-Men in 2001, followed by the Ultimates and Ultimate Fantastic Four in 2002 and 2004, respectively, providing new origin stories for the characters. The reality of the Ultimate Marvel is designed as Earth 1610 as part of the Marvel Comics multiverse. The Ultimate Universe, as a part of a large-scale reboot of the all-new, all-different Marvel Multiverse, ended at the conclusion of 2015 Secret Wars. Now, Secret Wars came out before, also, so just so you know. The Secret Wars, as a thing, came out in, let's see. I don't have any Secret Wars. I don't have the original run of the Secret Wars anymore, because I'm not collecting Marvel Spider-Man anymore. So I would have to look it up. Guess they're not giving it to me here. So let's see. That's the new comic book movie coming out. Marvel is about the Secret Wars. I don't know if it's about the Secret Wars in 2015 or the Secret Wars from I'm gonna say 19. Might not be, but yes. Okay, so The Secret Wars is a 12-issue American comic book crossover limited series published from May 1984 to April 1985. Okay, it's often referred to as Secret Wars, a significantly limited comic book series that ran, I think there were like 13, but I can't remember exactly. So the conception of series was conceived as a promotional tool for a new line of Marvel action figures by Mattel, the Beyonder and the Battle World. The cosmic entity known as the Beyonder transports major Marvel heroes and villains to the Battle World, a distant planet. Their premises, the Beyonder orchestrates a conflict between these powerful beings, declaring, "I am from beyond. Slay your enemies, and all that you desire shall be yours. Nothing you dream is impossible for me to accomplish." The major participants. The story featured a broad range of characters, including the Avengers, the Fantastic Four, the X-Men, Spider-Man, Doctor Doom, Galactus, and many others. I no longer have these. I got rid of them because I was only collecting Spider-Man at the time. I collected Spider-Man. I might have the Secret Wars I have the Secret Wars in the X-Men, where they participated, but I do not have the whole run of the series anymore, because it was in the Avengers, the Fantastic Four, the X-Men, Spider-Man stories. And Doctor Doom attempts to seize the Beyonder's immense power, ultimately achieving a form of godhood. Outcomes: the heroes eventually triumph, the Beyonder reclaims his power, and the characters return to Earth. Important character developments from the storyline include Spider-Man acquiring his iconic black suit, which later leads to the creation of the Venom and his family, because there's others of them in that. Impact. Secret Wars is regarded as the first major company-wide crossover event in the Marvel comic history. Yeah. So, and it is very iconic because, like I said, that's where Spider-Man gets his costume. But they did it again. They made a reboot of it in the Ultimate Universe, which is why we ended up there. So at the conclusion, ended at the conclusion of a 2015 Secret Wars storyline, where selected characters from the Ultimate Universe moved to the mainstream universe. However, writer Brian Michael Bendis established at the end of the 2017 miniseries Spider-Man 2, that the universe and the superheroes still exist. Between June and September 2023, Marvel published the Ultimate Invasion miniseries, written by Jonathan Hickman, with art by the Ultimates co-creator Brian Hitch. So, but what they did was they changed some of the ages of the people in the stories. So, like the Ultimate X-Men was kind of that thing. Wolverine became younger. His storyline changed a little bit from what his original storyline was at the time. I wanted to see if they had the Ultimate X-Men. Let's see. So I'm going to look for the Ultimate X-Men. So, the Ultimate X-Men is a superhero comic book series which was published by Marvel Comics from 2001 to 2009. The series is a modernization, re-imaging of Marvel's long-running X-Men comic book franchise as part of the Ultimate Marvel, which we already established. The protagonists are a group of teenage mutants, which is why Kitty Pryde was always interesting, why they got so upset about Kitty Pryde when they had teenagers running amok. And then they made him much younger. I have number one, and then number one was, upon its debut in February 2001, The Ultimate X-Men was the second comic for the Ultimate Marvel. So the original people in it was the Professor X, Cyclops, whose eyes shot the beams, Jean Grey, Storm, Beast, Colossus, Iceman. They soon included the teleporting Nightcrawler, Kitty Pryde, and Rogue. Common to the Miller period was the edgy tone, featuring quick action-driven plots and less moral X-Men. For example, Wolverine tries to kill Cyclops in Return of the King because he's envious of Jean's love. In the interview sequel, which is the thing is that you have Mojo and Longshot show up. You have the German twins, Ferenc. You have they change people's sexual orientations. They change people love things. They decided they were going to play with it and make it look different, and that's what they did. So, all right. So we're going to now do our gecko. Our axolotl. Okay, so where are we at? I finished on this one. Okay, so I'm going to see if I can get the music back. You said there was no music at all, which is odd. Okay, well, I will try to not be so quiet, because I don't know. Okay, we need this one. We need a little piggy. Pink one. That one there. I don't know what that one is. I don't know where my glasses. My glasses are hiding, so things are a little hard to see. Oh, we have this little racing. That's supposed to look cool. It goes in there. Let's see if I can put this together first. This goes here and this goes here. Not on there. There it is. This one. It's this doodaddy. Okay, so then we gotta put that one in here. And then this one goes there. Sorry, its head. Its head. The head. Oh, I forgot. Tomorrow I'm going to be playing Primal, not Fantasy. Final Fantasy. We have Primal we have to do. That was my goal, is to get Primal going. So it's the last Friday of the month, so we're going to do Primal. You know that they can be heard on my stream, just so you know. Roger. Roger.
What?
They can be heard on my stream.
Oh, I'm sorry.
No, it's alright. I just wanted you to be aware of that so you could let them know that they were on my... So they don't say anything secretive.
Sorry, I didn't know it was that loud enough.
Yeah, they could hear you cleaning your paintbrush.
Well, I clean my paintbrush loudly.
I don't know that you do. I can't hear it.
Don't worry. I have to get a new paintbrush. That one's worn out the tip won't form anymore.
I can't find what I'm looking for here. So now we're done with Atomfall. We're gonna put Primal in on Fridays. And then I'm gonna, next Monday is the last Monday of the month. So Fallout will be what we play. And then might have some other ones I put in. I do not know what that is. It says it's a light pink, but I don't think it's a light pink. Okay, well this part goes right here. Maybe it goes right there. Okay, there it goes. So okay, we need a little square pink one. Like this color. It's like this color, but not that size. And I'm not seeing it. Oh, there it is. Up against the thing. Well, that goes there. And then we need... It's going to be really warm this next week or so. I was out in my garage today. I have a lot of crap. I'm making a bird feeder, and I'm looking for a big one where like a crow's nest. And I need my super glue. I have Gorilla Glue sticks to make plastic, and to get the plastic to stick to each other. I have these huge plastic spools, which I will show. And because it's going to be so warm this year, okay, because it's going to be warm, I'm going to do some paper making. Remember, that is my plan next week. Though, the first is I will be out and about, so I won't be able to do it then. And then the next Tuesday after that, we're going to Crater Lake, because they're closing the Crater Lake National Park to do all the they say to upgrade all their trails and everything, but also they lack money, I'm pretty sure, to run it, since that's one of the other favorite things of our beloved president. So to see if people know that. So we're gonna go and see it, take the kids and see it, have a picnic, enjoy ourselves. And then the Tuesday after that, I'm taking the kids to a field trip for school, so they can learn about some creatures and stuff. Alright, so we have to, let's see, a little... Okay, so we did that one. Now we have to take this. And we're going to put this one on it. That. We're going to take this one. We're going to stick it here. Like that. And we need this one. And that goes right here. That. This one. Here, and then this one goes there. Alright. Yep. So it'll be a minute while I figure out how to get it on there. It's not looking like it wants to go on easy. It's going that way, but that's not. Oh, is that how they showed it? No, they showed it differently. So maybe I'm supposed to go down one? That doesn't look right. Maybe it just goes on the 2. Hang on. that wouldn't be right either. So it's got to be those ones up there. Okay, well, I'm just going to put it like that, because it's got to be like that. See, like that. It doesn't look like that, but that's what we're going to leave it as, because it won't fit the other way. Alright, now we have to do it again on the other side. On the other side. I'm going to try to do paper making on a Saturday or a Wednesday evening. I haven't decided exactly. That is what we're going to try to do. It's not how it shows it, but it's the only way it fits. That's the way I'm doing it. Alright, so there's that. I'll put it outside for a minute. They want us to make this one. I don't need both of those, so let's put that one out. Two white ones. There's a white one. There's a white one. Okay. And then we need this one, I think. Yep. So I put this one here. Oh, that one need that one. And I'll put this one. I don't want to go in. Damn. It's the wrong way. There's that. Pink one. There's a pink one right there. This goes on here like this. That one, at least two of these. Alright, there we go. Because, well. Except, I might have broken my blender. So I have to see if that's going to work. Because it set out in the rain. Not my intent, but... Oh, look, we have kills. How many of these we need? 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Alright, there's that. A long pink one. One of these. This one goes here. That one goes there. Voila. Okay, and we need this one goes here. Right in front of my face. Ah. There we go. Oh my. I pushed that down and my neck popped. Okay. Okay, we need... We need one of those. And there's some eyeballs floating around here. I hadn't noticed that. Oh. Okay, so there's these weird things that have... Not that one. This one. That. And then there's an eyeball floating around here. Oh, I found an eyeball. Okay, so we're gonna put this one in here. Can't get the eyeball to... Ah, there it goes. And then this one goes right... Found this one. Not just the eyeball, where's the little square thing? For the eyeball. Where's the eyeball? Now I need the square thing. Eyeball on first. I guess you shouldn't do the eyeball on first, but that's alright. Because then I'll have them looking crazy. But that's alright. Oh, there's the eyeballs. Oh, and they move. Could move them this way. I don't want to move that way. Alright, there's the head. There's the head! Axolotl? Yep. I wanted to say gecko earlier, but it's not gecko, so axolotl. Okay. And then we need two of these ones. Okay. There we go. And we're going to put those in the front to make a nose. We're going to make a nose here. I hate these little square triangle ones. They don't want to work right. It's very hard to get them in. Oh, that's not where this goes. That's not where that goes. Okay. Do it again, but down here. You guys have any ideas about the end of that atom fall? My lower back of between my shoulders keeps popping. Okay, there we go. Remember, I'm doing this for my son for his birthday, which just passed. XX autos, which is obvious since he has one. Okay, so now we need these. So now. It goes right here, but it goes right here. Okay, so then we need that one, that one. 2, that's 4. 4 of them. 4 of them. There's another one. There we go. One doesn't want to go in. Okay, so then we're going to take this, stick it in this one. Runs the head. I did these wrong. That's why they're standing up. I'm not gonna worry about that. I'm not gonna worry about it. Okay, when you know one of those little gray things goes back here in the butt. I was watching this guy who's on Instagram, and he packs like emotional support statements of people, but they're not. So, like, I'd rather be on my own. No, I'm not ignoring you. I just don't like people or things like that. But he was pointing out that his little stuffies all have buttholes. I was like, okay, is that important? We're going to build a tail, so I guess that is important for the axolotl. The axolotl over there. This it's like there's those ones. These. Maybe I can get it on there. Okay. It doesn't go that way. There it goes. thanks for hanging out with us. So, once upon a time, like 5 years ago, I was, had wanted to have a big giant 60th birthday, and I was going to stream it. That is no longer happening for lots of reasons. But one, because I don't have anybody to invite it to. And I'm not talking about like inviting for the stream wise. I'm talking about inviting, just having people watch me have a birthday party. We were going to have a big to-do about it, and we were going to get prom dresses and do all kinds of stuff. And then I said, nope, I'm done. As of the beginning of this year, because we hadn't really done much for it. With moving and all these other things. When I planned it, I was still living over in the place with the rotten landlord. That was kind of a thing. So I don't know what I'm going to do this year. I told my daughter I'd like to go to a salon. I haven't been to a salon. That would be fun. Next year, the plan is, so I'm going to tell you guys right now. Here in the United States, I'm not coming to Canada as of yet, but here in the United States, Roger and I are going to do a cross-country trip. The plan is to go to Colorado. From Colorado, we're going to go to Texas. From Texas, we're going to go to Florida. And in Florida, we're going to go up along to visit some family he has in Tennessee. And then we're going to go to Maine. So, what we're waiting on is he's going to get another car, so we can take that. But if anybody is along those trail lines would like for us to come and have lunch with you, we don't have to come to your house. You could just show up, meet someplace, and have lunch. Hit me up on that. Now, that's not till next year, like I said. It's not a now plan. But I am saving money for it right now. Piggy bank. We're doing piggy bank style. Also, taking my daughter someplace. Not next year, but the year after that. And then, somewhere along that, her and I are also going to go to Salem to go to the witchy town. Witchy town. We want to go to witchy town. Those are my things I'd like to do before kill and die. Take my son with me too, I think. If he wants to go. It's the only way he gets to see the world is I drag him along with me. Sometimes my grandson if he wants to go. He doesn't always want to go though. But you know, things change, so that could change too. I do my best I can to try to stay on task with my goals. Sometimes I don't get it there. So just I make another one and start over. Oh, look at that. Okay, so we need I have to buy another kit soon. So, next week I will buy a couple cars and I'll put those together. There we go. Okay, now we're going to put that on. Remember, this isn't a very big kit. Ta-da! The axolotl is done. Moving his feet, swimming through the water. She doesn't really swim. This Ariel crawls on the bottom, and every once in a while will do a, and then floats to the bottom that way. Let's look at the thing. Oh wait, I did it wrong. Wait, we did this wrong. Okay, apparently it goes that way. That makes better sense. I'm betting there's another. No, there isn't another side. Interesting. That seems weird. I'm just checking. Because it seems odd that you wouldn't have another side to that. Interesting. Okay. But I prefer it this way. Thank you.
Okay.
Looks like her tail. Alright, so now we're gonna make the plants, I guess, just because my son might want the plants. I don't know. Black one. Hello. Oh, it's another eyeball. No, I don't need 4 eyeballs. 3 eyeballs, 4 eyeballs. I'm looking for the little. I have a brown piece, but I don't see a black one. And I don't really like the little pieces that. It's another eyeball thing. That's flowers, I think. I'm gonna put those over there. I feel like those would go with the flowers. Maybe it's brown, because I don't have any black ones. I have brown ones. So we're gonna put a brown one in there unless we find a black one sometime. I don't see those. Okay, so we're gonna let's put this up there. I'm pretty sure the extra ones are so if you wanted to make the other critter, but we need another one of these. What's that? It's another whole one, but I don't see it. I see a white one. I'm gonna put this one in first. And we're gonna this one. It's trying to run away. I see. That's all. It's trying to run away. We're going to do one of the blueprint story line. Just try to do another puzzle. I heard there's a whole bunch of other stuff people missed. I do not see that other one. There it is. If I say that, then all of a sudden it pops up. I do not see it. And I'll put together any extra different ones if someone wants to. I'm hoping to get that Phoenix one. Send it off to a Phoenix, we all know. Okay, so then I need brown ones. One. Two. And a little gray one like this. Oh. Kind of a gray squatty box. There's a 2 one. There it is. Gray squatty box. I'm gonna make another parrot with this one, I think, if I remember right. These ones. This one. Is it that way, or is it this? It's supposed to go that way. It's that one. This one. That. The goldy one, that one here, the yellow thing here, and then one that has a U shape on it. It's not about you, it's about me. There we go. Another U shape. About you, it's about me. How many times will you say that joke? Forever, forever. I don't see that. You know, you'd think it wouldn't be that hard to find the yellow shape. Seems to be. Those. I always have to look in the corners because there it is. It's tipped over, so it made it hard to see. Okay, so we're gonna go this one. And an orange one. And a purple flower. An orange and a purple flower? I don't know about this. Wait, no, it goes this way. Oh, wait, I did that wrong. I had to put a purple leaf on there first. And there's 2 of those. Okay, already one. It's that one, and then no. There it is. There we go. So today, I have started, well, A month ago, I started riding a bicycle. Actually, I think it was 3 weeks ago. It's really painful, but thought it would be good way to lose weight, so I don't know how these go in. Didn't really go in the way I thought it was going in. The way they may look, but okay. I think I did that wrong. Yeah, something right here. Alright, we had that one. We have this one. This one could be in there. Is it in there? Where's it go? Oh, it doesn't. It goes right here. Okay, that wouldn't be there. It'd have to be one of these. That goes in like that. That goes in like this. Yes, like that. I didn't go in all the way though. Yeah, I'm not getting that. Another one like that? There are these ones. Maybe it goes in that one. Oh, that seems like that one's loose. It says it's a blue one. Oh, never mind, I found it. It's a blue one. Now I've got these stuck in here. Why is that not one fitting? There it goes. Aha. Got it. I got it. Sorry. Our axolotl has nothing like this in our tank, so I need a pink one now. I'm pretty sure it's these ones right here. That one. Another blue one. It's right here. So let me take one of these. I'll put one of these in there. Yeah, then we take one of these. Like that. Then we put this one in there again. That one goes on the other side. So then we have this one and this one. Let's stick this one in here. That one goes right here. That's the other way. It went the other way. Like that. That goes like that. And we take that one and this one. Here. Here. another pink one. And another one of these. Put that one in here. This one goes in here. That's it. And that would be it. Look at that. There's our Axolotl. Whoop, 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 whoop. Everything's done. Well, it was only a small kit, so it was $20 for the kit. We could get one of these here, the cat. If I can find the cat, I'll do a cat. Or the little robot's cute too. Alright, so that's it for that. We will be got all these extra Lego pieces. That's what happens when you get these kits. They're like little extra. We'll do the Mario one next Tuesday. Next Thursday. Not next Tuesday. Next Thursday. And by then I will have gotten another. I should have by then another. We're gonna do some journaling now. By then I should have a kit, another kit, like a car kit or something to do. I've been looking at. I want to get Ahsoka's spaceship. I think that would be fun for Star Wars. But after that, I'm running out of ideas. I could do free building, I guess, but I'm not really good with free building. My grandson is, but I'm not. So I have to have kids. I might do something else during the summer. Or take a couple weeks off from the Lego build, and we'll just do some paintings or stuff like that. Till I can get some more ideas for kids. I mean, there's some huge kits out there that I wouldn't mind getting, and then maybe I'd do a raffle or something for, or somebody just pays the shipping and handling and I'll send it. But I don't mind putting together some of the big ones. There's some big ones in there. But I don't have the $300 to pop out for a Lego kit. So, at least not at the moment, because I got other things I'm doing. So I'm gonna, for my birthday, I'm getting a Surface Pro to use to make some videos and do more art on. So one of those where I can use the pen or my fingers directly on the surface. So that's what I'm looking for. A little more user-friendly than the Wacom was, because I had a problem with that. I couldn't make it work the way I wanted it to work easily. So righty. Alright, so alright. So I'm going to show you some stuff I got from my journal. And any kit that I put together, I'll send the booklet with, because I think that's a good thing. So, alright, well, we've got some pretty pink paper. I'm not sure yet what I do. I was thinking this would be really neat if we go like this. I like tissue paper, but if I made a pocket with a tissue paper, I could then put this on here, and we could put something else in there. I got some other papers here, remember? I got this unicorn, so we could do the unicorn down. Do it like this. That might be fun. I have, well, not all of these have to go back in. I think I have some roses in here. These are all going back out in the, I have some roses in here on these. Here's another idea too I could use. this one. I want to trim this though. So I got these. I wanna color these ones. Maybe that's what we'll do. Color this. I know I've been doing a lot of coloring, but anyway, so I got these to put on my you put a ribbon in there and you attach these to it. Little charms, and it's a bookmark, so I got those. I know I showed you guys this before, but I gotta figure out what I'm gonna make with it. So I got this, and then I got this one. You're still irresistibly foxy, half the purple, but. So how you do this is, maybe we'll talk about this. Okay, so we have to get some paper. I have paper, so it's not a problem. Take this out. Now, the envelope is going to be used. I love the envelope. It's so pretty. I'm going to use the envelope too, so it's not a problem. Which would be, I wonder, should I use that? That's bigger, I think. Do that, maybe? No. Too small. Too small. We'll figure it out. Okay, so this. Okay, so we're gonna put paper in there. Now, there's a couple ways you can do the paper. I like to sew it in. That's probably how I'm gonna do it. I have to get my kit for that. I don't think it's in here. So, doesn't belong in here. Let's go out. So, or you could also, so you know, you could take your paper, or this paper, any paper, or this one here, and I could cover this one up in here, so when I open it, that's what's in it. So I think I'm going to do that first. Let's move these aside. Okay. So best way I found is sticky stuff. Our sticky stuff. Let's take our sticky stuff and put our sticky stuff. Sticky everywhere? That looks like it. Looks like it's sticky everywhere. Yay! And I'll get mine. Bring it out and I'll figure out where I put it. I'm gonna get this out. I gotta clean this one up anyway. I'm actually thinking I'm gonna cut that one in half. Remember, this only has to please me. It doesn't have to please anybody else because I'm only making this one for me. Now, I will be making some other ones, like I said, and I'll let you guys along for the ride, but...
I'm going to get some help. Be right back.
Okay. Love you.
Love you.
In case you get hit across the road, I want you to know that that's what I thought. Made those. They can be used journal cards, it can be used whatever I want. Okay, and we're gonna do this one. Which didn't get on straight, as we all can see. Can't put anything on straight, no matter how much I try. That one's there. didn't put it on straight. Do not want to cut my paper up. I don't know why it's crooked, but it's crooked. Interesting. I really need to go this way, though. Okay, well, let's go this way. It's looking pretty good. Alright, I'll close it. So that's cute. Look at that. I like that. My little foxy. Now the question is, do I want to just glue it on this side, or do I just want to tuck it away? I could make a... Put this here. I could make a thing for it.
Nothing but junk.
Junk?
Yep.
We all love junk. Just put in there. Alright. Question is, how do I want this? To do it this way and let it slip in this way. Ooh, yeah, but I do want to use this backing as a back for it, so do we want to put it on a picture here, or in this journal that we were doing? Because then the other one is just like this. So let's pick a spot on here. Okay, now we got 2 pieces. This is a really fine paper, so really fine paper does not have to. I don't want to double it, I don't want to do a single. Wait, let's do this first. 1 or 2 right there. I'm gonna eyeball this. I don't eyeball well. Just so you guys know. I wish I eyeballed well. I know people that can look at things and just, yeah, that's where that's gotta go. Okay, so that's good stuff. We need to cut it this way now. See, there is a pocket right here, so I'm probably gonna leave that open. So I'm gonna wanna go a little smaller here. Yep. I'm gonna cut this edge here. I'm eyeballing it still, so you know. Eyeballs. Probably should use the other glue, but I don't wanna. That works. This right here, and I want this. Let's do. I have some other tape. I realized going through my art stuff, I have a lot of markers. Probably more than I need. Alright, Feely. Be here for a little bit. Okay, so we have that. Now, we have a choice. This can go in here, just like that. Or, I can use this, like that, and make a pocket. I'm going to show you how to make that pocket. You don't glue the top or the other side up. You just glue one bottom, one side. fell apart when I took it. This is washi tape that I got in the kit. I got asked for Christmas one year. Secret Santa thing. I thought, that's kind of, I like it. Alright, so this goes like this. I can do it that way. Kind of cool because it makes a picture frame, or I can not do that and I can put it in here, which I might add. I'm probably going to add more paper to it. Go in there, or again, as I said, we have many options where my things can go, and I can put it there. But I want to decorate it and stuff, so figure out what I want to do to decorate. I don't want that. I wanted to find another stamp. I had a stamp. I have to find that. On here, I think. But I find my brushes, and I don't think I put them someplace else. So that's probably not happening today. Okay, so I'm gonna not do that right now because I don't have my brushes. I gotta put my brushes back. I'm gonna close this up. That here. I'm pretty sure that's how it's going to go in there. I'll stick these back over here. See, because I got another one. Ooh, let me seal them. Because you can't find the opening. See, and this I could also make right here. I could just put it there and open it, but I think I'm going to put paper in it as well. But I do want to take this and stick it right there. So with homemade paper, as soon as we start making 3D modeling stuff, that'll be great. So with homemade paper, you can make envelopes too. Look how pretty that is. And so I can just put this in here now if I want. Or I can do something else with that and put other things in there. I haven't decided. I do know that I might want to put that one right there. And this also can be used as a journal holder, card holder, just like that. Might do that. That seems like what I would do. This is from a very old birthday card my mom gave me. I haven't decided where we're putting this yet because I haven't finished coloring it. But it's going in there, of course. So it is good there. I really like these though. I'm wondering if maybe we should do this with them. Or if I should make a journal card with them. I don't know. I don't do a lot of journaling anymore, so put that one there. And you could put this one here. Okay. So that's pretty, huh? Alright, I'm gonna put that right up there for now. Let it dry, and we'll work on... Alright, so I needed to... Oh, so this is gonna go in that journal thing. But what we do is we make signatures with it. So we're gonna have to fold it and cut it, which I can use that if I want, but I'm gonna pull it out later. Because I am going to put paper on there. Now remember, these aren't tight to hold in there, but it'll be in a book, so it won't matter that they wobble around right now. Okay, so I want to put these, I'm going to make probably quite a few papers. They'll be cut down the sides. I just want to put them like this for the moment. I usually do like 5 in the tiny journals like this. But you can do whatever, however many you want. I will be cutting them more closer to the middle because I like these little ripped pages that I got. You can make these, there's a way to make them too. You use a plastic ruler, and you cut the ruler up, and then when you lay down your paper and cut it, it will cut with the wigglies on it. You can also do, okay, so one of the things, like I said, is that we all periodically, when you first start doing journaling, you just gotta have all the cool shit. All the cool shit. And one of the cool shits that I liked was these. So, you can buy these. Let's major this. Maybe right about there. I might go a little smaller. Like right there. Okay. So, I'm going to take my pen. Take these. Oh, that pen didn't work, did it? What happened? Let's do a different one then. Wow. That didn't work very well, did it? And you're gonna take these and you're just gonna cut them like you normally would. But then you're going to end up with these cool little ends, see? I'm probably going to stick this in here. Definitely want that to come down a little bit. Right there. And then this would be my paper that goes in here. Okay. And eventually they'll all be in there, and you'll open them, and you have these little papers that you can play around with. And I do like stamps and the art stuff on them, but that's what we're going to work on next time too. Put that up there. I'm going to put that up there. But I want to start this, and I was thinking, to do the others, the more gel-like. This seems like that. Oh, I hope these are good. The only thing is, I don't like the tip I've decided to use. It's hard to Remember I told you about coloring in the lines. Don't have to color in the lines. Do whatever you want. See? That looks cool. Alright, so probably we'll work on those. I'm gonna be jumping over to the blueprints in just a minute. I have to buy me some oil pastels for my gel plate because I found out you can use it to transfer images really well. So I want to try doing that. And I'm going to try crayons too, see how that turns out. That's pretty cool. I think I want a darker color in that part. Or maybe we'll leave it that way. That looks kind of nice. Watermelons. It's a watermelon color. Something a little bit ends, I think. Let's try this. That looks pretty. So I'll probably work on that next time. We'll get this done and put it in the book. What do you guys think? I need a darker one. That looks like that nice. I like that. You have to think of your art journal as your big giant coloring book. Like you get to put whatever you want in it and do whatever you want to and enjoy it. And I love using coloring book things, playing around with them. Okay, so we're gonna jump over to blueprints here, so it'll be just a minute. I don't know what you guys think of that, but I like it. So I'm gonna put these two like this. I can find them later. It's not a big deal. So I know which colors I was using. I come back. So we're gonna work on that next time. It's turning out really pretty, huh? I like the look of it. I like roses though, so the look of the roses is important. So you guys are going to get a brief look at it as Ariel while I move some stuff around. I'm not leaving yet, just be aware of that. We're going to do that real quick while I move some stuff around. Because I can't, yeah. Greetings all, Shardvixen here. And here is Azariel, moving around, being very active. She thinks there's food today. Today is not a feeding day. I have to clean her cage. Can I have this? Thank you. So, as a behavioralist, one of the things you learn is that human beings put feelings on animals. That's not to say animals don't have feelings. Animals definitely have feelings. I mean, we know that they can fear. We know, based on behavior, they feel fear, they feel anger, happiness, or contentment, and love, which also, dislike or like in that aspect. Azariel, though, I'm pretty sure she doesn't like me touching her, so I'm going to touch her again. I've already touched her once. She's like, why are you touching me? Hang on. Let's see if I can get her to come back this way. Hey, come here. See? So I can hold her. It's not her preference, though. She doesn't... her preference is not to be held. All right. Probably louder than that. Just gonna do one of these. Just gonna do one. I have to open up my. Now my bit rate's doing a lot. I'm gonna have to open up my PlayStation. I want to play We Happy Few. I have the DLC on there. Pretty sure that's right. So if you replay it, I can play that one, and then I have to do some other stuff. Oh, so a lot of my Final Fantasies are on my PlayStation now. So, well, I got flipped. I can either play Diablo 4 or the Necromancer on Friday, or play Primal. I think I want to play Primal, so I might play it at least half of Primal, just so I can get that, start gathering my resources for. Oh, damn it. Okay, I'm still trying to do the chest one. That was my chest or the boiler room. Boiler room. One of the two. See what we're saying when we get outside. The boiler room's hard to do. Well, I can't get that, Her Majesty's chamber to show up. She's not a majesty, not a queen. She's just a duchess, I think, or countess. And the classrooms, I'd like to get all the classrooms. Of which I can do one of those. Let's do those. Oh, hey, we need to get the cook checked because I got the lighting one, and we can light candles and everything to open up the screens. Solve a puzzle. Some dang thing, so we gotta get that cook checked today. So, we don't need to open up a whole bunch of rooms, we just need to open enough rooms so I can get that. Oh, we have to do more stupid filler rooms so I can get that working. Wait. I'm waffles for dinner tonight. Waffles! Giving up syrup there. Cool, better. We'll do the hallway. Because now it's just more rooms. I just need more rooms so I can get the rooms I need. Let's do the observatory. So if you bring the telescope in here, there's like tons and tons of activities to do. Apples are delicious today. Got a key and slice. Okay. That worked out. Good sales today. Hey, room. We're gonna have a Jim Rich one, it looks like. None of this is alright. Guess we do the rock. Rock. I don't have apples are extra delicious. I got 5 out of that. That's some gems. Well, we can't move. You should be. I don't want that. I don't need that right now either. I'm gonna take that one. It's fine. I have the things I can use. I don't want the. I want the freezer over on the other end. Thank you. Great shovel, but I have a shovel. Do not have a key though. Saw that coming. Let's go back down and see if we can. Okay, so we need the hood. But eventually we need to do that. Keys are what I need. I need keys. Lots of keys for me, please. Comment says, go to bacon and eggs. Bacon and eggs. Oh, look. Alright, so we have that, and we'll go back up. Why, you might ask me. Her Majesty. Bed chambers. Stop watching for this place. Wow, that didn't happen, did it? She's only on this side though. Where would it be at on this place? Yeah, well, will it both well? I don't want to know. But I don't want to go that way anymore, so I guess we'll go this way. What's the office? I need the office too. Oh. Well, we don't want to wait for him, that's for sure. We'll go ahead and do that. Okay, so if I get the close there, do that. Ah, you bastards. I need more keys, is what I mean. It's locked too. That's downward, you don't on it. Two cards, maybe. And on that. Ah, man. Okay, well, I guess we're going down then. Guess we don't have any choice in this matter. All the doors are locked. What the frick? Not all the doors locked. Stop locking the doors. I need to see. Oh, I need to go downstairs. I can't get downstairs. Nope, I can only get upstairs. Can't get downstairs because this is not working. Ah, bastards. I needed something like not that. I don't know if I can. I don't have it. It's not like downstairs. I'll be back. I need to go, but so if I go this way, I don't think there's one. Go that way. Let's go this way, that way. It's already good. It doesn't go. Yeah, whatever. It doesn't go that way. So, well, I don't know now. I've not seen any shows, fronts or whatever. I haven't seen them. Oh, I have the key card? Well, fuck, I didn't know I had a key card. Must be because I started with a key card. Really have any. back here. I don't think that's security. I don't think any place, it's all locked in. Locked in. Alright, so I don't want to go that way, so let's go up to the passageway. Oh, that was locked. Yeah, see, that was like oh, yeah. Didn't realize it. I didn't even realize it. Beef stew is being served in dining. Another time. Oh, you bastard, you locked too. Okay, let's go down the lower levels. That's yep, go to the hallway. Right hallway? We need a key. Key. And I gotta come back up here. Maybe the pool. Let's see this one. Ah, it's the fucking lavatory. That'll give me 15 points walking. Oh, let's see what my trophies are now. See, I got the logic trophy and the inheritance trophy. Yeah, I got that one. Cool. I have not gotten all the rooms, so I can't. Figure out. What's the first one? Take the first one. Big rooms always good. I just have to make sure if I run out of whatever else. Oh, fun times. Okay, so the 5. 5 minus 4 is 1. Plus 5 is 10. Times 11 is 1. Yeah. 4. That's the 1 times 11 is 11. Try that one. Okay. Now I have 2 squared is 4 times 20 is 8 divided by 10 is 8 divided by 8 is 1. Like one of these. Minus part is squared. So we have 4 plus 8. Well, if 8 is squared, that's 64, so that's not going to work. 4 do 9 is 4. So 4 minus some 4 is 4, 4 is 60. Right. And I got a key. That's where we're going. Silver key. We're going to go try the silver key. I don't think it works here, but we're gonna try it anyway. Going back. Back. Because I have to open it. What is it? So it's here as well. I don't think it works. So it's here. So the key opens. Unlocking it will lead to a room with many doors. Huh? Yeah, I was supposed to do that. That's probably not going to be what I want to do. Fine. I'll open that door then. So I know for sure that I can't get Her Majesty's room. Yeah, I'll do the one I want. Ah, you bastard. The other one's a lot too. That sucks. Okay. It's not a key one. You don't have lots of keys. Steps in. Where's the kitchen? Kitchen's up there. Whoa. That's the passage in there. Oh, I ain't doing that. What did I do? Not doing that. Oh, not that way. Well, let's see what we can open here. Wine cellar. Wow. Oh, no, it's in there. It's fine. Oh, library. Library's cool. I don't have any books. The library's cool. Casino. Steady. While drafting units fan, gems to draw full time. Let's do that one and see what it is. Oh, it's this stupid fucking one. Oh, that's what I wanted. Retrieve my island. Check in. I don't need to do that one. I don't think I need any of this. Okay, so now the problem is I don't have enough. I don't have the tune, so I can't get down there that way. I don't have enough. I don't have enough to get where I need to go. I need to go back up to the chapel, and I don't have enough to get there. So we're just gonna do that. We're gonna go to the break room, and there's where we're gonna die. I needed that early on. Earlier. Well, we're just gonna go to the break room because there's no place else to go now. I'm gonna die. Second. That's sad. Is this a we're just gonna call it quits here. I did not get the one I wanted. Alright, that's it for this evening. My thing's doing it again. My keyboard, I don't know why. Does it? So I don't know what's going on with my keyboard. Anyway, I will catch up with y'all on tomorrow. And tomorrow evening I will do another stream of Primal. Alright, catch y'all on the flip side. I'm out of here. Peace. Greetings, all. Shardvixen here with
Boy!
and we're doing some Minecraft. We are getting ready still to build our
It's about I got your iron, I got your iron, I saw it through
you
the
got
wall.
my iron. We're
I
trying
saw
to
it
build
through the
our get
wall.
ready to build our castle.
I
So
saw it through the wall.
what are you giving me? Stop giving me things. You're just supposed to do your stuff. What is your job in the castle making? Do you remember? Do you remember what your job is?
I wanted to.
Did you steal my iron? You did.
I saw it through the wall. I
That's
saw
what you
it-
were saying.
Look, I saw it through the
Uh-huh.
wall. Look,
Dogs are barking.
I know. I don't.
Hey! Chargo, come. Chargo, come.
Hey, there's a dead sheep.
Okay, what is your job? I gave you a job. Do you remember what your job was?
No.
Okay, your job is to decide, after I decide the boundaries, close the door behind you so the creatures don't come after us.
No knobs.
Yeah, so the mobs don't come after us, alright? So here's what you're supposed to do. You're supposed to build a cattle. Did you steal my food that I'm making?
No.
You did.
I didn't.
Oh.
I was trying to make.
You can keep the iron. That's fine.
I didn't make that. Oh no, I wanted that. I don't know what to get. I have to get some iron sword.
Okay, so here's the deal.
I think it's-
Listen. You are the rancher, the animal keeper, the stables. You need to build fences near here that will have cows and sheep in them so we can get wool, right?
Oh yeah, I can make a scene.
Pigs for food if you want.
I'm gonna make some things so we.
You need to not get in my way,
What?
though.
Look, I know makes. This is gonna be where I cows are supposed to be.
Hey, milk. We can have milk.
Oh God, this is a quick one.
Yes, close the doors and stay away from the sides. We don't need them blowing us up.
I can kill this.
You can go. No. You can go down and mine. If you're gonna kill the creeper, you need to go. There's a secret way out. Do you want to know where it's at?
Yeah.
Remember? You're me. Yep. No. Go back. Turn around. There you go. You can go down there.
I never seen this.
No, not that way. There's another way. Go back up. There should be a door up there. Oh, we can make a back door.
Well, you said there's a secret door. Maybe it's down here.
No, it takes you to the canyon that's behind the house, but it's not the secret area.
Where is the secret area? Entrance. I saw we had a
This
secret.
is just our work shed, dude. Our work shed. That's all this is. So.